What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today we got Yareli Prime build guide. I've got 2 builds for Yareli that I used in the last couple of days, and I've also got 10 OMNI FORMA on her, which means I can fit any possible build on here. So yeah, I got level 10,000 footage and speed run of Exterminates up for you here. Before we get into this stuff though, make sure you sub to this channel, do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff, right place Warframe content. And just I'll have a video on the die queue probably on Monday. But yeah, we got the compressor video out yesterday, and here's Yareli Prime's build video. Now, in the level 10,000 footage you see in the background, Yareli can be very, very tanky with the right kind of build and synergy. We've currently got a shield gating and overguard gating setup, where I basically didn't die a single time in a level 10,000 mission. So, good stuff there. And as far as what Yareli is doing in these missions, she's not exactly the most fun to play, but she's more of a debuffer, like pistol user, I guess I'd call it. Her damage abilities aren't really the best at this level. And at low levels too. You're mainly relying on her passive and her mobility for her K-Drive to actually get anything done here. So yeah, let's start things off with level 10,000 build. As you can see in the background footage, we are wiping out level 10,000s and we are not dying at the same time. So that's a pretty good combination. And as far as how you can do this, there's lots of ways to do this. I'm using actually the dual Tox pistol. So let's take a quick look at the build for number 1. It's a level 10,000 build. We're just hop into a group of enemies and hope for the best here. So we've got a lot of shield getting stuff. We've got a lot of survivability stuff, and we also have CC from our first ability, C Snare. We also have survivability from our 4th ability, our ulti, but it's not really as useful, I found. So throwing our bubbles, they stun enemies in place. We have a lot of shields. You can see right now our shield is constantly regenerating to full. And with Yareli's passive, while you move around, you can actually get increased crit chance for pistols while you do that. So we're completely safe, and we're also getting like red crit damage buffs. And for most frames, jumping into that situation is not exactly the most safe. So yes, she can be relatively tanky against even lots of high-level enemies. And it works the same way at level 10,000 as well. So first things first, with the Archon Shards, Yareli, what do I have? Well, I'm going to let you know right now that these are very versatile. You don't have to run when I'm running. I actually just running these because they feel fun, and I can maybe take one of them off for a different use. But for right now, I've got 5 Archon Amber Shards, 2 of them being Archon casting speed for Tau, so we got like 70% casting speed, more than natural talent. And we've got 3 Parkour Velocity Shards. These Parkour Velocity Shards let you move a lot faster in the mission, and these also affect the K-Drive dodge speed if you are using the K-Drive in the mission. For the first build I'm going to show you, we're not using the K-Drive, but the second build I will be using the K-Drive, so these can help a lot. Now, as far as what I would replace here, as far as other options for Yareli Archon Shards, these are all really good, but 1 Equilibrium Purple Shard would be okay, even though I had no energy problems the whole mission, or maybe an Orange Shard for secondary crit chance. She already has a crit chance buff for pistols with 200%, but those Orange Shards give 77 per, so we could like pretty much double up her passive if we want to go even more crit chance. Some other things too, like technically a green shard could be okay, but these enemies are dying before they get all the corrosive procs anyway, so I said it's kind of a waste. So just, for me right now, I got all this stuff, and she doesn't really need power strength either, so yeah. As far as the build for Yareli for the level 10,000 face tank, as you can see, I have 10 OMNI FORMA on Yareli. This allows, if you haven't played in a while, you might not know what OMNI FORMA is. OMNI FORMA is just basically lets you switch the polarity, or like put any mod polarity in that slot. I already have Prime Flow on here, but I can put this flow mod anywhere, and it wouldn't really like matter. I can literally just change the build, the mod, like placement anywhere I want. It's not going to be any problem because they're all universal polarities. Besides Umbra, now they're not going to make it a negative polarity for Umbra, but yeah, it does not actually count as an Umbra polarity yet. Maybe someday it will, but right now it does not. Now, as far as the build, we've got Loyal Merlina Augment. Lets us basically walk around when we and our Merlina follow us. It's pretty nice because you don't have to actually ride the K-Drive. You don't want to ride the K-Drive. Also, the Loyal Merlina will throw out bubbles to stun enemies. If you have efficiency, it will spam the bubbles faster, but with neutral efficiency, it's got 2-second cooldown on the bubbles. This thing throws out bubbles pretty often. As far as the rest of the build, it's a shield tanking build, so we got Brief Respite. Whenever we cast the ability, we get shields back. Vigilante Vigor and Fast Deflection are shield regeneration mods. Alongside Arcane Aegis, we've got lots of shield regeneration, and we can kickstart shield regeneration really easily with Brief Respite. So yeah, you basically just throw out your first ability, C Snares, that gets you some shields, and then you start regenerating your shields pretty much right away, and then you're basically invincible. So very, very good stuff. And with that, we have Prime Redirection. Prime Redirection increasing your shield capacity. We've got 2.5 seconds of shield gate when our shield breaks, which is very nice to get our shields back. with lots of invincibility time. As far as the rest of the build, we got Rolling Guard because technically I have status immunity to my pistols with Fortifier, but Yareli has no status immunity normally, so we're using this to get rid of status procs like Slash procs or Fire procs on us. Next, Prime Continuity. Since I'm running Transient Fortitude, this gives negative duration. I want some positive duration because negative duration Nourish feels terrible. Additionally, duration does affect how long your sea snares last for, but their enemies are pretty much already dead if they got attacked by this anyway, so duration is mainly just there for the duration of Nourish. So you can technically take that off if you're okay with not having to have low duration Nourish. Moving on to the next mod, Prime Flow, gives you a big energy pool. Now, we are not running any like Equilibrium Shards. Like I was like, Purple Shard could be great for Equilibrium on her, but yeah, I didn't run up energy the entire time. We got Nourish to give us an energy multiplier, energy gain multiplier, so you know, we get like a good chunk of extra energy when we pick up an orb. That can be very nice. To just spam these easy bubbles. These bubbles only cost 25 energy. That's like the main ability we're casting. Yeah, honestly, the main abilities you're casting with Yareli of this build is make sure Nourish is up to Nourish 3. Make sure your Loyal Merlina is following you around, so 2. And that's like a duration-based ability or like a health-based ability. And we're spamming our bubbles. So we're basically spamming our bubbles, our main energy waster. That's why Prime Flow's on here. You can technically take out Prime Flow if you have like Energy Nexus or something maybe. We've got Transient Fortitude. This is going to increase the debuff of our bubbles, sea snares, and that's pretty good. So, damage vulnerability, it scales the strength, so if you want to go crazy damage vulnerability, you could, but we're pretty neutral, or pretty low on strength on this build. Also, Nourishes viral damage and energy multipliers affected by strength, as is the damage of Riptide. The ability, Merlina, is not affected by strength too much, but it's affected by a little bit of the health amount. As far as the last one here, Loyal Merlina, like I said, if you don't want to ride the K-Drive, you can do this. If you do want to ride the K-Drive, simple swap, just put on Merlina Guardian instead of Loyal Merlina. Now, as far as the other build, we'll talk about that here in a second, but yes, like I just showed you right there, this is a very, very tanky build, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the other weapons now that I used in that footage because they are kind of helpful. So the Afentis is here. Now, there's actually a glitch in Warframe right now. There's no recoil for any weapons if you turn off Screen Shake. But if they ever fix that, this weapon will be great for you because when you throw this buff on the ground, it will give you reload speed, fire rate, ammo pool, and reduced recoil. So since Yareli's passive only buffs secondaries, I'm using the Afentis to buff my secondary even further. So this will give me all those buffs. I throw it on the ground, and if I get a kill while I'm in the bubble that this thing creates, I can keep the buff for like, I think it's 40 seconds. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Increased fire rate's quite good because we can also use that as a DPS increase for our pistols. So the build does not matter on the Afentis, really just some reload speed and fire rate just to get the Afentis down on the ground. And the rest of the stuff is pretty much whatever. Oh, actually, you know it's not whatever? Point Strike. You want to have some crit chance on the Afentis so when you link to your companion, it will have enough crit chance for Tenacious Bond. That's very important. Now, for the DPS pistol I used in this footage, I used the Dual Tox Assist Incarnon. Why? Because it's the best. I could have used something less good, but I want to show you guys some of the best stuff. So the Dual Tox Assist Incarnon is here. One of the best pistols in Warframe. It is a chaining pistol. It also has good range, too. I could have used the Furious or something else, but yeah, the Dual Tox has very good range, and I like that. So for the Incarnon perks, I got Fevered Frenzy. On ability cast, increase multi-shot sex with 20 times. You're spamming your bubbles a lot, so you're going to have increased multi-shot by 100% at all times. Now, for this perk, Ready Retaliation, this is where I took off the recoil perk, because, like right now in Warframe, there's no recoil for any guns. I took off Marksman's Hands and put on Ready Retaliation. It does not actually matter. When I add recoil back, put Marksman's Hands back on. For the final perk, I got Commodore's Fortune. Yareli's crit chance passive is quite nice, and it will stack with this even nicer. So we got red crits on the Dual Tox. As far as the build on the Dual Tox, I want to be even more survivable, so I've got Secondary Fortifier. But if they do fix the recoil thing, the build will go back to the normal build. We'll have Steady Hands on here, and maybe Deadhead. But yeah, Fortifier is quite good. You just shoot enemies, you get Overguard from them. It also does more damage to Overguard, and the Dual Tox is so strong you don't even need to have like Deadhead or Outburst or whatever. But you still could technically use those. For the build, we've got Nourish, which gives Viral for our weapons. So I got Corrosive on here for Corrosive and Viral. Enemies in Void Cascade are weak to Corrosive. Or at least enemies in the Void Cascade Omni Fissure are weak to Corrosive. So Viral Corrosive just takes care of them really nicely. You could technically throw out a Magnetic mod on here for Magnetic Might. I wouldn't blame you for that. Gives you more crit damage and more. It gives you some magnetic damage to detonate Overguard. You could probably take a Lethal Torque for that one. But yeah, for me, I like just run the Corrosive build. So yeah, that's what we got here. Convulsion for Electric. Pistol Pestilence for Toxin, making Corrosive. Galvanized Shot. Crit mods. Multi-shot. And then a Riven with Multi-shot and Crit. If you don't have the Riven with Multi-shot and Crit, That's where Magnetic Mite's definitely going. So, yeah, really good stuff. This thing is extremely good for tearing through high-level enemies and has good AoE coverage and is very easy to use. So, this alongside the Afentis will be a machine gun pistol, and you can even take it further if you want to go with the Furax Wraith. But I decided not to use the Furax Wraith. I decided to use the Praedos instead with the Sprint Speed and Slide passive and also the Parkour Velocity passive. Between this Parkour Velocity passive and our Parkour Shards, we can really, really jump far with this setup. As you can see, like one bullet jump, cover the entire simulacrum with ease. And yeah, again, that will affect your K drive too. So right now with this build, I just summon my K drive and it's like it follows me around, throws bubbles. But if I was on my K drive setup, which I'll show here in a second, it will let me just jump across the room and the K drive, which is pretty good because the K drive is actually technically faster than just walking. So let's just go ahead and show how that works here. So I change the ob now. I got Merlina Guardian over on the Merlina. We jump, and as you can see, it's not really as good as a fully fully aim glided bullet jump, but it's still much further than without these shards. So if you are finding yourself wanting to fly on or drive on the K drive, I'll show the second build, and you can maybe speed from some exterminates with that. So yeah, that's gonna be the level 10,000 build for the weapons. Let's go ahead and show the companion real quick, and we're gonna go on to the second build here. So we got the Shield Dog. I don't remember what this thing's called. The Roxa Kubra. I started using this thing a little bit more recently because of Hildren, basically. But yeah, the protectability gives you full shield regen from your dog, and that can be even more helpful because we don't want to die, basically. But yeah, the big thing here is that this dog can hold Reinforced Bond to give me more fire rate, and Tenacious Bond to give me more crit damage. So that's why I said it's important to make sure that you have that crit chance bond in your Afentis. The rest of the stuff here got Link Redirection because my Yareli is bond for shields, and Protect just to give my shields, give me some shield regeneration. Now, if you look at the claws here, I've got 51.8% crit chance. That's because the Afentis has that crit chance mod. So that's basically it. These claws aren't used. This thing is just here to give me more shield regeneration. There's other companions you could use too. You could use the Panzer Phyla, you could use the Adarza Kavat, you could use whatever you want. But for me, I wanted to use this thing just to be even more safe. I didn't die a single time, so I thought it went pretty well. Let's move on to the second build now. So this build is not meant for level 10,000. This build is meant for, like, Steel Path Exterminate. If you liked my Mirage build from a while ago, you might like this one. This one's going to be just basically speed running, like, Exterminates. If you'd like to run, like I said, if you'd like to run Mirage with the Icarius, we're rocking the Icarius on this one too. And it's going to be a build, just basically, you do the same thing as my Afentis Icarius Mirage. You throw the Icarius, you shoot the Icarius, and then GG. Now, we don't have energized munitions on in this footage. You cannot cast helmet abilities on the K drive, unfortunately. So I've got Arcane Pistolier here instead. So basically get one headshot kill with the Icarius, and by the way, it homes it on heads, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. And you can just spam your buffed up rocket launcher pistols for the entire mission. So as far as what changes on this build versus the build you just saw, you can literally just make the one change of Merlina Guardian into Loyal Merlina into Merlina Guardian, and then just switch off Arcane Precision for Arcane Pistolier. Yes, it's that easy. And that being said, it is very annoying you can't recast helmet abilities on Merlina. Maybe DE could fix that someday. Apparently they said that they're not going to do it because it would be too weird-looking animations-wise, but that's just a shame because Hildren can do it. Hildren can cast helmet abilities in her ult. Why can't Yareli cast helmet abilities on Merlina? Like, it doesn't look that weird on Hildren, so that's how I look at it. So, as far as this build in the sim, oh, by the way, I knocked out this Exterminate in like a minute and a half, so not bad for a frame that's not really a speedrun frame at all. Like, the enemies are basically already dead. Yeah, what, 1 minute 40 seconds I think it was? 1 minute 45, so not bad for like literally first time trying to do it as well. And I got a Compressor Relic, not too shabby. Now, as far as showing how you could utilize that, all we're going to do right now is we're going to switch off the Dual Toxicus pistol to the Icarius Prime. The build in the Icarius Prime I'll show in a second. And we just go to our build. Like, I already made a loadout for it, but it's the exact same build as the other one. But we've got Arcane Pistolier instead of Arcane Precision. On pistol headshot kill, 6% chance for full ammo efficiency for 12 seconds. And a lot of people don't realize this, but the Arbitration vendor now has these Arcanes for 10 VOS for each. So you can get guaranteed Arcane Pistoliers. You can get guaranteed max out Arcane Pistolier in like one mission, basically. So good stuff there. As far as the Icarius build, same one as my Mirage build. We got Corrosive Heat. You can switch to the Gas Electric really easily, so swapping those mods around. Secondary Fortifier is great. If you're playing Yareli, you maybe don't need this as much as if you were playing Mirage with like no strong ability. So maybe run Merciless, maybe run flare, whatever you want to run. But yeah, the general gist of this is about the same. But now we are actually using arcade drives. So this build actually has no helmet on it. You could put Nourish back on here if you wanted to, but yeah. So let's get some guys that aren't level 225 exo Gok stats. Let's get some like Lancers, I guess. So one headshot kill, and it's just GG for them. It's GG for the entire mission if I get one headshot kill. So this is quite nice to do on the K drive as well. So you can throw on the Afentis, on your K drive. And as you can see, one headshot kill. Now I can spam the rocket launcher pistols as much as I want. So it's actually much easier to use than you would think. And that lasts for like 10 seconds straight. Like I can just shoot these rocket launcher pistols up in one-shot steel path rooms constantly. So yeah, and also yeah, your crit chance buff does apply to those as well. So very, very nice stuff. If you want to utilize that, I already showed you the entire build. Like, there's really not much else to show besides yeah, it's good in mission too. So hope you guys found these builds fun and helpful. I think that the 10 Omni Forma was obviously not really needed, but it is also a joke with my chat a little bit to do this stuff. And I can also put any Yareli build I ever want to on. But it's funny, I have the exact same build on both of these, huh? So I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate the support. They're both viable builds. Just depends on what situation you're trying to bring them in. This is for like Exterminate, for like Steel Path speedruns. This is for like level 10,000 Void Cascade and more. So see you guys next time. Appreciate the support and take it easy. Peace.